to everybody that's in Texas right now. What the fuck is going on? Texas governor orders arrest of Democrats who left the state. Y'all, this shit right here so crazy. I'm talking about literally an arrest. So you literally, the Texas governor to put out arrest warrants for Democrats who left the state. Y'all, we just to get into this and see what they talking about with this. Do your girl a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell for notifications, and let's get into this.
Not have a quorum, and they started the process there. There was a motion that compels the sergeant of arms to have arrest warrants for the Democrats that are not in the state. I do want to point something out here, though. We're talking about the Department of Public Safety. That's the Department of Public Safety in Texas. So now you have the issue of whether they will leave the state of Texas and go to Illinois and try to arrest them there. This brings a whole host of new issues. This is generally why when Texas Democrats flee, when they leave, they go to states with Democratic governors. And Governor Pritzker was with the Democrats outside of Chicago last night, where he said he will do everything he can to protect the Democrats. So this is a very large development. Now, the question is if DPS crosses state lines.
It is fascinating that these Democrats in Texas went to essentially sanctuary cities to get away, when all they needed to do to deny the Republicans quorum was leave to anywhere. They could have gone to Arizona, they could have gone to Nevada, but they all went to extremely blue cities. Did they see it coming, Julie?
Yeah, it's the fact that you see our government is in a state of chaos right now. That's crazy. That shit's so wild. I'm talking about you got political motherfuckers who gotta flee the state and go literally leave the state to keep from being arrested. Hell yeah, they knew that shit was coming. Did they know? If they didn't know, they highly suspected some bullshit was coming. I wouldn't be surprised somebody tipped them off and told them what was coming. And they probably thought, ain't no way, no. But better safe than sorry. Fuck that, let's go. The fuck? That's crazy.
Julie?
Well, I think this became more and more clear when this was the first bill that was going to be considered in this special session. I mean, Governor Pritzker said last night he started talking to them back in June. It was really laid out last week when a group of Democrats went to New York, a group of Democrats went to Chicago, and a group of Democrats went to California. So you could see them laying the groundwork here for a quorum break. The bottom line here, though, is that the Republicans have the majority. So how long do you stay out? In 2021, when there was a quorum break, that was over a voting bill. That was 38 days. So you've got to keep an entire group together. School is starting in Texas. This session goes another 2 weeks. Somebody's child could be getting married. And now, if they come back to the state, they can be arrested. So it's always a question of how long you can keep the group together outside of the state.
Bigger, broader. I mean, we've seen this on both sides of the political aisle, and in response we've heard...
You mean gerrymandering?
Gerrymandering, excuse me. Yes, correct. And in response, we've heard Democratic governors such as California's Gavin Newsom and New York's Kathy Hochul have talked about retaliating with new maps of their own. I mean, this goes on and on. I feel like it's part of the, I don't know, makeup of what is politics today, unfortunately, in the United States. But we
should point out that in some cases it's unconstitutional, right? After the Voting Rights Act of 1965, gerrymandering along racial lines is illegal.
So, like how do we look at this on a historical basis, Julie?
Well, I think the historical difference, what you're seeing here now, is this is not redistricting after new census data. This is redistricting mid-cycle. So historically, that is a little bit different. Traditionally, this happens after census data comes out. This also comes when the President of the United States told the Texas governor, hey, or he certainly had the feelers out there and the words out there, we want to pick up 5 seats in Texas. So this is likely the first time a president has made that very clear publicly. But, as separating these districts, this is really up to whoever's in control in some states. Others, there's an independent commission, but in other states, it's up to who controls the legislature.
I wonder how this, before the arrest, I feel like Greg Abbott has, in this sense, kind of played into the hands of Democrats. But before this arrest order, it just didn't seem like a good look to me, Julie, that the Democrats in that state were saying we're simply going to abandon Texas.
Damn.
That's certainly a risk that happens when there is a quorum break. Now, a lot of them have been coming back with, no, we really wanted to vote on flooding. However, redistricting came up first on the agenda. But the bottom line is, what the look is, we'll go over for the next weeks or so. But at the end of the day, when you talk about tools in the toolbox, the biggest tool that you can have is the majority, and Republicans have the majority. So eventually, when they go back to vote, Republicans control both the House and the Senate.
Right. So bottom line, is this just kind of a little bit of a show on the part of the Democrats? And that bottom line, they're going to have to come back and it's going to have to just play out like it is because Republicans have the majority?
Well, Governor Abbott can call as many special sessions as he'd like. You can call them over and over and over and over again. Back in 2023, there were several special sessions about school choice. So he can call them over and over and over again.
What recourse do Americans have in all of this? We're the folks that actually vote and we live in these districts. I mean, what recourse do citizens have? Or it's out of our hands because it's based on census data?
Well, I think citizens have the recourse that they have in any situation. A, they can vote, and B, you can call your lawmaker. But at the end of the day, when your legislators are voting on this, and oftentimes it can go down party lines, I think that's something that voters are used to at this point.
I've been following this story with interest, but do they have to leave the state of Texas to break quorum? Couldn't they have just gone to the stockyards in Fort Worth?
Well, they can't. They have to leave the state because if they're in the state, they can be arrested. If you're in the state, you can be arrested. So, sure, I guess you can try to hide in plain sight, but while you're in the state, if you're breaking quorum, and that was openly decided today, you are subject to being arrested. You're subject to a warrant.
And so now the governor is going to send the Department of Public Safety theoretically to Chicago to arrest them, or is this just a war of words?
Well, that's what we're going to see, right?
Yeah, that remains to be seen.
Y'all, I don't even know what to say. The country's a mess. All this bullshit going on. Y'all see the politics, like the political tea is 10. I'm talking about our government are we in the middle of a government collapse? Because that's what it feels like. It's feeling like we are in the middle. We're real time. We are watching our government literally collapse. All the way down from the motherfucking federal level, all the way down to the fucking local level. That shit is insane. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this madness in the comments below. Again, do your girl a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications. Man, let me know in the comments where y'all coming from. This shit wild as fuck. I'll see y'all in the next one.